At the KSMO studios, your hometown radio station, it's time to take a little interview. We got Carlos Lopez, Luke Heithold with us. We're going to talk a little bit about Dave Ramsey's Financial Institute Peace University. It's really a very, very, very good course to take, especially if you're just starting out. Or maybe you need a little refresher if you got some budgeting issues. But we got that to talk about. We got some Healthy Dent County stuff to talk about. So first off, guys, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Stan. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, first off, I think we'll do a little bit of Healthy Dent County work because, Luke, you're going to talk a lot more about Dave Ramsey's Institute, so we'll do that last. Carlos, how are you, man?
I'm well. How are you?
Fine. You've been traveling the world, I see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just got back from Washington, D.C. The landing going into Washington, D.C. was a little different this time. But, we made it back, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, well, you were a little hesitant about that. I understand that. Nonetheless. But Healthy Dent County continues to do stuff. Just got a little opioid grant yesterday, which was announced.
Oh, yeah.
And that's big as part of the education toward opioid education and fighting opioid addiction. I think anybody who thinks it's just, I can't believe somebody be taking those things, a lot of times it's due to pain because of an injury or something else. The next thing you know, you're hooked.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's why it's such a big issue is because people have been prescribed these medications and, unknown to themselves, the opportunity for addiction there, and so they a lot of times they're just taking these medications as prescribed by the doctor, and then the next thing you know, they got to have it. And so but it's an issue. And you're right, we got the opioid settlement funds. We had our grant accepted, and so we're getting some money there, and a couple of programs that we're looking to implement there is we're going to try to implement a mentoring program. And then also we're going to try to, so right now when we're doing the Too Good for Drugs, we teach grades 4 through 6.
Right.
With this extra funds, we might be able to find some additional help, and then we can expand that, and then we can go into grades 7th through 9th as well. So, I mean, and our program's working, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about our prevention stuff, but it's important to know that, what we're doing is working. One number that I have off the top of my head is the vaping for 2022 grades 6 through 12 in Dent County specifically was 20% of students in that age range were using vapes in the past 30 days. Well, in 2024, that number is now 7.9%. And then, it's hard to take credit for some things or pat yourself on the back about some stuff. But, I think it's important to note that, I think it's largely due to our prevention efforts here in Dent County and our relationship that we have with the schools. It's an incredible thing. It's working, I believe. And I'm so thankful to the commissioners as well as the opioid settlement folks there, that
their committee with Rick Letchworth, their chairman. Yes.
Very grateful for them and looking forward to what we can do with that.
One of the things, Carlos, you guys have a number of different programs you're working with kids with. One of those has been a Blitz program. You started that actually in 2024.
Yes,
that's going to continue into this year.
Oh, yeah.
And that, it kind of throws it all in your face at one time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it's great, So we get a screen from Town Screen. We purchase a screen with Ben, and we place it at the schools. And then not only that, do we have these 2 screens placed in strategic places, high traffic areas like the cafeteria or the entryway at the school, or wherever it is that we place them. We also plaster the hallways with these prevention messaging or wellness messaging. And I talk to a lot of the teachers there or the counselors, and they'll tell me oftentimes that they'll catch the students just hovered around these screens watching it loop through like 12 minutes of prevention and wellness messaging, and it's awesome to see them and how interested they are in that, and it's repetitive information, so maybe it'll help with retention. So
and the thing is that, and you brought up some statistics. Everybody says statistics can be skewed, and they can, but at the same time though, making people aware. That is really the goal here. I mean, you can't stop somebody from taking something. And, there's peer pressure. Luke can tell you all about peer pressure. You know about peer pressure. I know about peer pressure. And it's all been in different eras, but it's the same thing. Somebody's going to try and convince you to do something because they think it's cool to do this. Or, well, you're nothing unless you try this. you know what? Be yourself.
That's right.
And stay true to yourself. And I think that's the hardest thing. But you got to sometimes just make that people aware of that message that gets out there. Hey, you don't have to do this.
That's right.
You don't have to try to be the cool kid, because the cool kid may end up being the cold kid on a slab. And honestly,
Sure.
because nobody knows how drugs or vaping or even smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol will affect each individual. Some people can't handle it.
That's right.
Their bodies just say no.
Yeah.
I've seen people take one drink and they've lost it. Some people smoke a cigarette and they start coughing uncontrollably for maybe 5 to 8 minutes. And when they get done coughing, I mean, their face is red, their chest is sore. Was it worth the puff on the cigarette?
Right.
Just to do that? I mean, you just don't know how bodies are going to react to, and I'll say artificial insertion of smoke, drugs, especially chemicals.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. We really don't know.
Well, we got 9 peer pressure refusal strategies that we teach the students
Right.
within the Too Good for Drugs program.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. You guys have a program put together to really make these kids aware. And of course, and now we're starting to talk with the opioid prevention, even adults. So you've got a full mentoring program that should hopefully really help these people.
Oh, yeah.
And also make more people aware about the opioid issue. And as you mentioned, the opioid settlement money comes from back about 3 years ago when there was a settlement deal reached with, I'm thinking it was Malincrot here in Missouri anyway, but it's going to give us money for the next 15 or 20 years.
Yes, that's right.
To fight the problem. So
yeah, it's going to help for sure.
Well, good luck with that. I mean,
well, thank you.
Yeah, I know it's in its baby step stages right now, but you guys are putting it together, and we wish you the very best on that.
Yeah.
And you and Henry got some stuff going on to schools. I believe you're at Northwood here coming up soon.
Yes, sir. We're supposed to be at R2 this week, Tuesday and Thursday, but due to the snow, we're gonna have to reschedule that. Might be next week that we're able to do that, and then let's see.
I thought you were Northwood at 1st of March or something like that.
Yes, we were. So we did the prevention. We did the vaping prevention and wellness. Mm-hmm. And then now we're doing the alcohol prevention and wellness.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you the best of success with that.
Thank you. I certainly appreciate
anything we
it.
can do to help, we really appreciate that. So, Luke, you old dog, you.
Well, Healthy Dick County, it's such a neat program to get put through. And from the outside looking in, for a lot of people, it's like, well, some of this stuff is pretty obvious. But it has to be told. It has to be taught. It has to be said a lot. And that's kind of how this whole financial peace program is as well. A lot of times money stuff is pretty simple. It just doing the right thing over time can lead to good results. But sometimes if you don't talk about those things, you don't have open conversation, you don't have that education, it becomes pretty difficult to do the right thing. Whether it be your finances, your faith, or prevention of drugs. So Healthy Dent County does some really good stuff, and it's been pretty exciting to partner with them to get this to some education out to the community for financial peace.
Well, really appreciate you and Hannah doing that. Well, first off, you might want to introduce yourself. Most people should know who you are, but you know what? There's a lot of people out there that don't. I find out it's even though you're from the area, you know what? They'll say, I may not have heard your name for quite a few years. You were gone for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you and your lovely wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your family. My God, you can't forget the family.
Yeah, Hannah can't be here with me today, but she will be a part of this program and help teach. But yeah, Hannah and I, high school sweethearts here in Salem, grew up and graduated in 2008 and her in 2009. Hannah's mom, part of the art group here in town, did some great things. Hannah's dad, pastor at one of the churches. I mean, we are ingrained into this community. And then we stepped away and left for 15 years. I got an engineering degree. She got an interior architecture degree. And we went to the city in Oklahoma and did that for quite a while. Started raising kids and realized, holy cow, the city is not the funnest place to raise
Not the
kids.
place to be, yeah.
And when you got 4 kids running around at home, grandparents start to look real desirable to be around.
A lot cheaper.
So, that's right, yeah. But we created careers there, and then got the opportunity with COVID to move back and keep our careers. So I work for the Boeing company as an engineer, and Hannah runs a laser engraving company from our home. So we've stayed real busy with all of our life work and our kids. But one of the things that we became passionate about while we were in Oklahoma, the university that we went to, Oklahoma Christian University in Edmond, always asked Hannah and I to come and lecture in one of the courses that they had called Personal Family Finance. And the main aspect of that lecture was to communicate about the first 5 years out of high school or college, when kids are starting to make money. What do you do with it? And how do you make good choices to not put yourself into a bad situation that might reflect for the next 5 to 10 years or the rest of your life, where you're going to have to be working for forever?
Yeah.
And those few choices right there at the beginning of your career can really dictate the course for your financial future.
You know, I think, and I've not attended this course, but you have the first 5 weeks is called baby steps, and it really is, because when you first start out on your own, you want the world. You think, well, I should have what mom and dad have, or I should have this. They had to work 25, 30 years to get there. And I think the kids come out, and I think a lot of them are getting more a little realistic about it. You know, when you come out and you get your own place at first, you're not going to get the 4-bedroom home with 3 baths and the full basement stock with a pool table and your own basketball hoops. That's not going to happen. But you do need to figure out how you're going to pay for what you have. Exactly. You know, and you have to do it wisely. I mean, there's expenses. Luke, you start out. I know I started out, Carl. If we all started out, you're out there the first time, and all of a sudden life hits you in the face. Bills, car problems. Then you start having kids. Now, where are you going to get all the money for all that? And like you say, sometimes the city ain't the place to be because the costs of everything are much higher in the city.
Yeah. Sometimes just people are drawn to the cities because of jobs and high-paying jobs, but there's a lot to be said about being in a small town and expense and housing prices and things like that. So, and this program is really, really interesting because it's somewhat obvious from the outside looking in. Just don't spend too much. Right. That's a lot of that kind of stuff. But they go through 7 baby steps for this program, and that first baby step is one of the most important, and it's just save $1,000. And I know that sounds like a lot, very daunting for some people, but that $1,000 is something that you put aside as an emergency fund just as you're getting started to ensure that, hey, I got to get new tires because I ran over something and I can't get to work now. You're trying to get Murphy's Law outside of your story. Anything that can and will happen will go wrong unless you're prepared for it.
Right.
And that $1,000 just keeps them away from your doorstep just a little bit.
So I mean, we're talking about the Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University.
That's right.
And this is going to be held on Wednesday evenings out of the Salem Community Center at the Armory, 5:30 to 7, I believe is the time's correct. Yep. And you and Hannah are going to start, and we've talked about the first 5 weeks going baby steps. Right. And it really is. You have to, and we hope people who have problems budgeting or maybe just have financial issues where they are confused. Credit card debt is something that people rack up very quickly, and then they don't pay their full bill. Yep. And just paying the minimum payment on your credit card bill, man, you're going to be paying that thing off maybe for 35 years. And that's what they want you to do. So they're making more money. You're not. So these are going to be a lot of different strategies, I'm sure, that can be brought up during the university. But the baby steps, how important is it to get a good foundation? And that's what you guys are teaching, to get started.
And that's exactly right. And you said, it's getting started in people who maybe don't know a whole lot. To be honest, if you know everything about finances, this class is for you too. Yep. It's not for, I'm struggling, I can't make it work, I can't pay my bills. It's for people that make a huge income, right, and they just need to be a better steward of what they have. I know for my wife and I, we've always done fairly well, but when before we started budgeting and took this course, we would save money but we were sometimes eating ramen noodles, and we were making really good money,
Right.
and we were making a struggle that was maybe a little bit too much for us. When we started budgeting and keeping track of our money, there was some freedom that came with that.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that we'll learn. But yeah, these baby steps, they're the foundation set to make sure that you take out some of the risk in your life for finance, but then also build some understanding of, hey, if I budget and I do these things right, then I'll have it. The goal isn't to just say, hey, I've got all this money and I'm going to have more than everybody else. The goal is to get to a point where we can help our community back again. So it's not about if you're really poor or you're really rich. If we all just do a good job with our finances, we can go out here into our community and when we can give back like
Sure.
we've never been able to do before, because we've done well with our money. On our personal side, we've taken care of our home and our families. Now we can go and take care of our community better.
And one of the things that I'm sure comes up in this university is the stress of money fears.
100%.
I mean, we all know that. You know it. We
Sure.
all know it. You get to that stage, do I have enough money to do this? Or if I want to go on vacation, can I even pay for it? I mean, we're talking about just typical fears. But when you're starting out and you get a big bill, got all this cold air coming in, all of a sudden your electric bill goes from a normal $200 bill to a $450 bill. And you've got 2 kids at home, and the next thing you're thinking, okay, and the price of groceries continues to rise. There's a fear there, isn't there?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, financial problems within marriage is the second leading cause of divorce. So, and it's difficult to go through and have this pain and lump in your throat every time. Let's say you're on vacation and you've put it on your credit card. That vacation isn't as sweet whenever you're having that in the back of your mind all the time. So, but when we've gone through and if you've completed this course, you'll have the tools and that knowledge to actually make budget, make an idea and a plan, so that way you're not putting yourself in a bad spot. And to be honest, my story, my personal story and my family's story, financially we did pretty well. But I had a job and I've told Carlos this, but I had a job in the oil field and I made a lot of money right out of college as an engineer. Mm-hmm. And I tell this story. I didn't like my job anymore, and I wasn't enjoying it. I was driving out to an oil rig, and on the way back from that oil rig, I passed an ambulance going the other way. I was on that same oil rig when right after that, the ambulance showed up to the oil rig and had to amputate a man's arm because it got pinched. It was the same man I was talking to,
Wow.
working on a project. So that right there was a point in my life that I said, hey, I can't be in this field. I'm about to have kids. I'm about to start a family. I got to get out of it. Mm-hmm. But that people at that point, everybody worked in the oil field. Well, where can you go? You can't make this kind of money anywhere else. Well, luckily, I had done this Dave Ramsey course.
Sure.
I wasn't living in a mansion. I didn't have a brand new truck. I was still driving Hannah's high school Kia that the windows didn't work. And we were making lots of money, and we paid off our house and all these things that went really quickly, but we were very conservative with money. And it made me be able to go up to my boss and say, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
I've got to go find something else. And I took a huge pay cut to go work somewhere else.
But you had peace of mind.
100%, and I wasn't going to lose an arm.
Right.
So
right.
yeah,
yeah,
It's important.
But it really, what you're talking about there is living beyond your means. Because if I know we all want the nicer things, we all want to buy a new car. You're talking about about a minimum of $30,000 anymore for a new car. Well, $30,000, they say, well, you can finance it over 6 years. Your car's probably not going to last 6 years, and you're still paying on it. And these are things you have to consider. And then it's not just the buying of the $30,000 car. You got to pay the taxes. There's another $2,000.
Yeah.
And then once you get that, you got the insurance. There's another $2,000. It's not $30,000 now; it's $35,000. And this is kind of what you guys will be teaching. Don't just see what's on the surface. There's a lot of underlying costs and a number of things you do. You want to buy a new home? Go for it.
Yep.
However, once you get in there, realize that it's not an apartment. If something goes wrong, you've got to fix it. You got to pay for it. And if you get a new home, or let's just say not a new home, but you get a home and it's an older home and it suddenly needs repairs, needs insulation, needs a new roof, needs a new water heater, you're not ready for it. And this is why we're talking about being financially prepared.
That's right.
That's what you and Hannah did there when you were able to leave your job. You already had as much debt-free as you could probably be at the time. Like you said, you weren't living beyond your means, and it was easy to make that decision, not only for peace of mind, but for the safety of your family.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the whole premise of this is it's not about, oh, you're going to get this crazy education. We're going to talk through a lot of things here in this class that'll set up a good foundation for a future. And to be honest, there's going to be stuff that I'll learn. I've taken this course 3 times now, and it's stuff I'll learn every time. And it's nothing's crazy, but it's stuff that's important to get in your mind to hear. And the more you talk about something, the better you'll do with it. Right. The more knowledge that you have of that thing, the better you'll do with it. So I'm real excited about having young people, young married couples, and older people that have it figured out, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do for retirement? Well, we'll go through that. Insurance. We'll talk about insurance. We'll talk about some of the financial planning that we might do for investments. It's really an all-encompassing course to set a great foundation for whether you're 60 and you're just getting started late, or you're 18 and you're like, I just don't really know what I need to be doing yet. We'll talk about all that. And the great thing about this is, this community in Salem, we're in an interesting scenario. This course oftentimes can be taken with people you never know. Right. And this course is interesting because here in Salem, we have the opportunity to have actually some community with it. I'll be here. Mm-hmm. So after this course is done and you get confused, or maybe I get confused and I need somebody that I need to talk to, we're going to have a community here after this that you can go and reach out and say, hey, Luke, what would you do in this situation? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a hard one. So,
yeah, I've taken this course several times myself. And the one thing that I enjoyed about it is what you're talking about, the community. You know, yes, there's the instructor or the person facilitating the course, but also you have approximately 12 to 15 other people in there that you can rely on, maybe bounce some questions off, get some feedback. And you'll also have some people inside that course that have lived experiences and can contribute in that manner. Like, hey, when you're buying a house, these are some things you need to think about when you're buying a vehicle or selling a house. All these things that you take place in an adult's life, you know, there's lived experience in that course, and the community is a huge impact and a great thing for the Financial Peace University, in my experience.
You know, we're talking about the Dave Ramsey Peace, but basically Financial Peace University, and this is a 9-week course.
That's correct.
Okay. And it's on Wednesdays. It'll start next Wednesday. Hopefully the weather won't get...
That's right.
It's supposed to be 60 degrees. I think we're going to be good. But it will start at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. And Luke and Hannah Heithold will be basically your main instructors. You may have some guests. I don't know if you're going to have them come in or talk or not. But if you haven't, and I'm going to say a basic understanding of budgeting, that's great. But sometimes you need a little bit more. And I think what Luke is saying is that we can all still learn. You know what was a good budgeting tool back in 1990? May not be the same good budgeting tool in 2025. Yeah. And you do need to kind of sometimes, I hate to say it, but we all get trapped in our box. And I've been doing this for 15 years and it works. And I don't have to change a thing. Well, maybe there's a better way of doing that without so much work on your part, and you're going to get maybe even better results if you maybe look outside your box. The box is your comfort zone. Sometimes the comfort zone isn't always comfortable when you look at the long term. And that's one of the neat things about this course. It not only looks at today, it looks at tomorrow, but it also looks at what you have done and some of the bad habits you may have gotten. I can always remember my sister used to go binge spending. We all have heard of it, right? Now, we probably all have done it at one time or another. Binge spending, and if you're not quite sure what that means, it just means like in one day, you may just blow $1,000 online or at a shopping mall or whatever. Everything you see, you want. And I'm going to buy it. I've got this extra money from my tax return. You know, I got $3,000 for my tax return, and they'll spend that entire $3,000. What did you make out of that tax return? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of great things that are explained in this Peace University. It's called Peace University because it gives you peace of mind.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. And it gives you that comfort of making your own decisions about your budget. You're not going to be at the mercy of banks. You're not going to be at the mercy of credit bureaus that are telling you, "Hey, your credit score is not good enough. We're not going to be able to do this for you. You can't get that credit card. You can't get that loan because your credit score is not good enough." So also help teach you how to balance that credit score out to where you can get these things if you need to borrow money. But like you were mentioning, how is it when you get debt free? I mean, there's a lot of people I know that are going to be in their 70s paying for a $450,000 house, and I'm like, why? Why did you buy that house when you're 40 with a 30-year mortgage to pay off, and by the time you get done paying it off, you probably can't even live there?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be in upper ages of your life. You can't climb steps like you used to. You can't go down to the basement and enjoy that handball court that you had to have put into your house. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people they shouldn't enjoy and have built what they want. You should. If you're going to build a house and make that kind of investment, you should. But what we're going to be talking about is make it practical.
Yeah.
And that's what really a lot of this is, common sense, but a lot of it is exposing maybe some people, Luke, to things they've never encompassed before.
Yeah.
And that's the key. You were mentioning that $1,000 as, is your emergency fund, rainy day fund. You can call it whatever you want. $1,000 today doesn't go as far as it used to 15, 20 years ago, and so people really need to kind of stay on top of what their expenses are. And that's really where you save your money.
Yep.
Don't go buy everything you want. I love to have steak every night, but you know what? A hamburger every now and then ain't bad.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I had a really smart person tell me one time, and I'll even name that person once I say what he's told me. He told me one time the quickest way to make more money is just to not spend it.
Yeah, that is.
And Jason Jones told me that several months ago, and it stuck with me, and it's true, and I think with Financial Peace University, we're going to learn some of that as well. He talks about save, rice and beans, or something like that. So
ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles for sure. But yeah, really excited about the program. Really excited about Hannah and Luke facilitating those programs. I couldn't think of anybody who'd be better fit for to teach this program than them two, and really looking forward to it.
There's a $60 cost. How do people sign up for the course?
So you can either go online, I believe it's on our Facebook at Council for Healthy Dent County, or our website, which I think is linked in our Facebook, but that's salemcommunitycenter.org. Or you can give us a call. Our number is 573-729-8163. And I believe we have about approximately 5 to 7 slots left available. That could be off by a couple of numbers. So I recommend that if this is something that you're interested in, to give us a call, make it happen. We also have registration forms at the front desk at the Armory. And
or they can just email you. Can they email you?
They could email me.
And you're Carlos at SalemCommunityCenter.org. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
You can email me, and we'll get you registered one way or another. And then again, the cost is $60. While I was talking with I can't even remember his name, but he was coordinating with me through Financial Peace University, and he said it's important that there is a cost for the class, because there's a little bit of buy-in. Now they've got $60 invested into this program, and it might make them be a little bit more focused on what they're doing. It wasn't for free. They spent $60. They might as well show up. But from the day one going through the program, it's such an incredible program. It just hooks you. And for me, I don't know if any of you guys had Hot Wheel sets, but with the racetrack had a loop-de-loop in it, whatever, and there's always like a little turbo boost right before the loop-de-loop, and then it'd circle around, and right before the car is about to come to a stop, it hit that turbo boost around that loop-de-loop again, and I believe that this course is like a turbo boost to get around the loop-de-loop. It's very encouraging. It almost pumps you up, like, man, I cannot wait to save this money. I cannot wait to get my finances in order. I can't wait to get this done. At least that's how I felt in my experience. So really, seriously, if you guys are even just a little bit interested in doing this program, please give us a call, shoot us an email, do whatever you need to do, because this program could potentially change your life. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 48, this
Right.
program will work for you one way or another.
Now there, and if you, even if we didn't have sponsors, which we do, there'd be a cost for this program, it'd be a lot higher. But we do want to thank our sponsors,
Yes.
Joe Brand and also the Bank of Salem and Healthy
That's
Green
right.
County, for putting it together. It's reduced that price down to $60. And so you have this opportunity to take it. And it doesn't matter what age you are. Luke was just talking about his story. That changed. You weren't 18 anymore when you were being an engineer. You went through college. I mean, obviously, you were getting ready to have your family. You already had a plan in mind. You're not 18. You might be, well, maybe 27, 28 at the time, 26,
Well,
somewhere in
mid-twenties,
there. All right. Well, anyway, now that plan that you had is getting changed.
That's right.
So it's not that the Financial Peace University is just a one-time shot. You may revisit it over and over
100%.
again as your life changes.
Yeah.
There will be new things come up, and what I'm saying, the baby steps lay your foundation. But there's some good stuff in this. Wise spending. You're going to talk about insurance, about buying and selling a house,
Yep.
things that you may say, well, I don't need that. I'm not going to buy or sell my house. There's a lot of people in Florida that didn't think they were going to buy or sell their house, and all of a sudden a couple of hurricanes came through, and now they're trying to get rid of it as fast as they can, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good information in this that, if nothing else, will give you some exposure to how to get it done. You may not be an expert in it, but it sure is going to give you a little bit of basis points when somebody starts to try and snooker you and say, well, you need to buy this and this and this and this. You're like, I took this Dave Ramsey University course. They didn't say I needed to do that.
Yeah.
Then what Luke was saying earlier, if you think that that's not legit, get back in touch with Luke and Hannah or anybody else in that family that you're going to be taking the course with and say, hey, these guys, I think are trying to pull something over my eyes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, great community, and that's what's really great about this course is it can, if you don't have two pennies to rub together, it's perfect for you. If you're a millionaire, it's perfect for you because it talks about so many different stages of life with regards to your finances, and it talks about foundational principles, and then it goes into things like buying and selling house, things like insurance, which gets pretty confusing. Estate planning
It
is in there.
changes every day.
We'll talk a little
Yeah.
bit about estate planning. So there's some people that maybe you've done really well financially and you're in a good spot for your retirement and you want to be able to leave a legacy not only to your community but maybe to your family, and you need to talk a little bit about estate planning.
Yep.
We'll get to a point in this course where we'll have at the very least the resources to make sure you guys have everything that you need financially. For any questions, we'll get those addressed.
And that's a key figure to me because you've got to have support.
100%.
How many people, and Luke, you might know a few people. I know some people who talk to financial managers. And the financial managers are going to talk about 6 steps above your head if you don't know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And they're going to say, well, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. Well, if you don't understand what they're talking about and you invest money, how do you feel comfortable?
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't. I've been always doing my own investments and kind of keep my own stuff, and I always pay my own bills. So I don't put a third party in charge of anything, and I kind of keep my eye on it. And that's me. But that may not be other people. Some other people may struggle with that, and they don't want to do that. This gives you these options, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's good financial planners, banks,
Sure.
and real estate agents and all that out there, 100%, and they provide a fantastic service. But there's always in the back of a person's mind, is this person out to help me, or are they really trying to make money? And this is a great course
Yes.
to get a community of people that are like, all we want is for you to succeed and do well. And we don't have any interest with regards to you. Okay, if you do really well, I get 10%. That's not how it works for us. It's we want everybody to be educated, and we think that what's going to happen is in the future when you're financially successful, you'll give back to the community in a way that helps everyone. So that's the goal.
And giving back to your community may not be financially, but it may be rewarding for you personally to give back. Time is money.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can give back, whether it be helping out at your church, helping your community, park and rec board, you got 2 guys on it now, right here. But I mean, there are a lot of different things out there that can help your community. Don't feel like you cannot be a part of a club or a member of your church group or whatever it might be that wants to go out there and help some people. There's a lot of great organizations out there that do this every single day, and I can guarantee you this, most people don't even know they exist. And that's another thing that I think part of the Financial Peace University makes you also realize there is help. Not only in your family, in your group with you and Hannah, but also if there's assistance out there, you guys will be able to tell them, look, if you got these issues right now, you're financially strapped, you have help out there. I mean, like Intercounty has Operation Roundup. You got that tire that blew that one time, and your $1,000 you just had to use for the kids' braces. Didn't expect that to come up. All of a sudden, that's gone. Well, now that tire's going to cost you $500. You don't have it. You can apply like something like an Operation Roundup and get that new tire. Costs you nothing.
Yeah.
You know, because people out there trying to help.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So tell us, Luke, are there going to be any guests that you're going to have in there? Some maybe specialists, or is this pretty much going to be just you and Hannah?
Yeah, the Financial Peace Program uses these really fantastic speakers, and there is some video courses through Dave Ramsey that we will use as part of the curriculum. And then Hannah and I will give our own story. We'll be up there to facilitate. And it's really a working conversation where we go through every week, and we'll talk about the scenarios and what it would mean. You know, what do you imagine would be like in 5 years if you didn't have this debt? We'll talk about that kind of stuff, and it gets you excited. It gets you into a place of, hey, this is now the kind of future I can see not only for myself and my wife or my future wife or my kids. It's an encompassing course that gives you an opportunity to really see what your future might be like if financial stress was taken out of the picture. So,
I got a question for you, Luke.
Yep.
When they register for this program and they pay their $60, it comes with a lot of other stuff per their Dave Ramsey's website, correct? And,
yes.
And it's lasts a year long. Can you kind of give us some information as to what some of those things are?
Yeah, Stan kind of hit a little bit on it. He said, maybe budgeting's a little different these days. Pencil and paper is the common way of doing it for most people. But actually, the Dave Ramsey program, they have set up a really fantastic app that'll pull financial pieces and put it all in a budget for you. So really all you're doing is you're getting a summary that you can check daily, weekly, and get an idea if you're on track. And that comes with that $60. You have access to this app, which is a paid for app, but you get it because you've taken this course. So that's a part of your $60. There's audiobooks. The Financial Peace Program through Dave Ramsey has had many books by many authors that talks about tons of different things, whether it be just finances, whether it be raising a family, some counseling type of logic. If you hate your job and you would like to get a different job, but you don't know what you want to do, if you're 40 years old and you just can't stand what you're doing anymore, there is books out there that you're going to get access to that helps you replan your life and say, what am I good at? What are the things that, if I could do anything I wanted, what are the things that my skill set does? You can explore that and get you an idea. So you're getting access to all the videos for the course, and it's all in this dashboard that you'll get access to through the Dave Ramsey website. Really tons of resources. Probably should have said that at the very beginning. Good thing you said it, Carlos, because it's not $60 to come and listen to Hannah and I talk. That's not what you're getting. You're getting opportunity for community, but you're really getting a ton of resources. If you were to buy it individually off their site, you would be $250, $300 easy for just some of those resources.
Well, you guys are more like moderators. You're in there to help people.
That's exactly right.
It's not teach people. You're in there to help people, and that's a difference.
Yeah, and the course here is that's a fantastic the idea of instructing. We're there to make sure that it gets facilitated. Hannah and I have instructed, and our passion is that early out of high school, out of college. That's where we really like to communicate on, associated to making good decisions with regards to finances. So that works out really well for us. But the Dave Ramsey course, a lot of times they do a great job of keeping everybody involved. But if you have a partner and you're a spouse, this is a great course for you. They do a lot of, hey, what kind of person are you? Are you a nerd or are you a free-spirited person? And the great thing about it is most marriages have one nerd and one free spirit, and they mesh really well together. And if you've got two nerds, it becomes like, well, We can't spend any money, and we save it all. So it's hard to do things. And if you got 2 free spirits, you don't got any money left all the time. But you need these people.
In and out. Yeah.
You need these people. You need to have a little bit of that yin and that yang. You got to have some of that, so that way you guys can enjoy life with finances, with financial freedom. But you can also be very conservative and be a good steward of the money that you have. So.
And then you've got the assistants, like you talk about, with the basically your group is your family, and then of course you and Hannah will be around even after the fact. You're part of this community, you're part of their community is now. But like you said, with all these additional resources, I'm sure you can find some answers if you want to search a little bit and find it on your own through the books and the different research and even the audio books that they have. One of the neat things that I always liked about Dave Ramsey is he stays fairly current.
Yep.
You know, nobody can be ahead of the ball game with today's finances. There's just no way. You know, I remember when I first heard of crypto, and I'm thinking, what? You know, and it's legitimate, but when you first heard about it, why would people buy something that doesn't exist? And they're mining what? They're mining nothing. There's not there. You have to understand that with every investment, there's a risk. With everything that you save, there's a real nice golden end of the rainbow for that, because it's going to come in somewhere. You may need to buy a car. You may need to buy that house. Put that down payment down. You may have that baby coming. The next thing you know, we're going to have to redo that room. We're going to have to buy baby furniture, and it doesn't come cheap. You know, there's a lot of strategizing, and I think that's what you and Hannah will help moderate these people in making these decisions on what strategy they want to have going forward. You know, what you've done in the past, you've done in the past. It can't be changed, but you can make it better.
Yeah, like Healthy Dent County, people go out, they go there to work out. They go there to build their muscles and their strengths at the actual fitness center, right? That's what this is. It's a 9-week course, and we're going to strengthen your financial understanding.
There you go.
That's right.
And that doesn't mean you're not going to get completely messed up later in life. It doesn't mean that, and it doesn't mean that what you've done in the past can't be worked upon to get better.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to go and we're going to teach you the right strength conditioning skills for your finances, and you're going to be able to have the opportunity to have a community to work out with your finances, and then with that with all that information, you're going to have the opportunity to reset your course financially. And even if it's in a good place, if you're a bodybuilder, those bodybuilders, they still work out, right? Well, that's where we're at too. If you're a millionaire, it's good to talk about your finances, and it's good to help others with their journey. You know,
we talked about addiction earlier, and there is spending addiction. There really is, and saving addiction, both. And this course will help you moderate that, because you have to go spend money sometimes because you've got to exist. You got to buy groceries. You got to buy this. And if you save every single thing you have, not to take away from the ramen noodles and also peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I think we've all been there. Yes, sometimes you have to, pull the old belt strap up, and it's going to be tight for a little while. But then once you get past that, you realize, yes, I have to improve the situation that I'm in right now. We all need to look forward. At the same time, though, but you got to have an idea how to get there. Mm-hmm. And this will help you reach those decisions a lot more comfortably. Because if you don't know how to get there and you're trying to guess, well, then you're always questioning yourself. Whether you did it right or wrong, you're still questioning yourself. With this university, you're going to have that basis to say, okay, this is what they talked about. Let's analyze what I'm going to do first. Strategize. If I do it this way, where am I going to be? Where am I going to be? And that's the neat thing about this university. It gives you those options of saying, I can do it more than one way.
Yep.
That's right.
Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. There's many ways that you can figure out your finances, and this is just a really good map on which direction you want to go.
All right, this is limited seating, as Carlos mentioned. There are some availabilities. If you'd like to participate in Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University Workshop, it's going to be Wednesdays, 9 weeks starting next Wednesday, due to the weather. But it starts next Wednesday. It'll be 5:30 to 7 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. And Carlos, you want to tell people how they can get registered or where they can find the forms to register? You want to tell them that?
Yes, we'll go over that. So you can register either, I believe, on our Facebook at Council for Healthy Dent County or on our website, salemcommunitycenter.org. You can give us a call at 573-729-8163, or you can just shoot me an email at carlos@salemcommunitycenter.org.
It's amazing you can remember that.
Yeah, it helps when you got a pen and paper. So.
Well, I really, really do appreciate you guys coming in and spending it. Any last words you might have, Luke, about the course, or Carlos about anything else with Healthy Dent County?
Yeah, I would like to just take a moment, kind of briefly share what all Healthy Dent County's got coming up and what we're actually kind of in the process of doing. So I believe the high school is using our gym for a pickleball tournament this Sunday, so that's really neat. Susie's been working really hard at getting our volleyball league together, and I believe it starts March 4th, and that'll be every Tuesday. And we got a lot of things going on. AARP.
Got a basketball tournament coming up?
Oh, yeah, a 3v3 basketball tournament. That's coming up. Henry's been working on that. He's our new Stop at Grant guy, and that is a fundraiser for our Prevention Coalition, and it kind of helps with some of the activities that we do with our Teens on Prevention, which is our student-led prevention coalition at the high school.
That's something you probably need to explain. It would be nice to have some of those students come in here and actually let people hear what they do. It's great that you got students teaching students.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, that peer-to-peer influence there is a great thing in the way of student prevention. So we got a lot of cool things coming up. Actually, AARP right now is doing taxes at our facilities. They do free taxes, and all you got to do is give us a call, and we'll put you on the calendar, and we'll schedule an opportunity. And it's all free. There's no prerequisites. You don't need to be a certain age.
Well, if you have certain amounts of taxes,
it's
a lot of different investment things, and you may have to actually go get a paid accountant. But for the most part, if you have a fairly simple tax return, or even if it's a married filing jointly, they can get it done at AARP. 729-8163. Do call. You do have to make an appointment. Just don't show up. That doesn't work out very well. And also I wanted to bring out something that you already mentioned about high school working in conjunction with Healthy Dent County. They do a lot of different things together, don't they? High school and Healthy Dent County.
Oh yeah. We work really close with our high school, very specifically. Well, not specifically, but in the way of prevention, we do a lot of work with them. They are one of our partners. They do a lot of events in our gym, and it's a great relationship, And I think it's because of our relationship with our local schools is why we're able to accomplish a lot of things that we're able to get done. And I really appreciate that relationship there. And so it's exciting times right now, and with this new opioid settlement, it's going to get even better.
Right.
So.
One of the things Luke was talking about earlier is giving back to your community. And over at the Healthy Dent County Gymnasium, Dottie Steelman, former state champion volleyball player with the Salem High School. We only had one state championship, and she was part of it. And I remember Dottie back then, and I remember Dottie now. She is... she loves kids, obviously. She has her own football team, but she's going to be having an introductory course that's coming up at Community Center at the Army at the gymnasium. And if you have a child, I think from 3 or 5 years old up to 6th grade, she's going to be holding a fundamentals class, teaching these young kids how to play volleyball.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing, and Dottie knows how to do it. And she was taught by Stephanie Bates, who's a Hall of Fame coach, by the way, and Stephanie came from the Salem area. Tell you what, Dottie was a very, very good player. She's knowledgeable. She also was a Misha official for a while, so people say, well, what does she really know? Well, she knows the rules, and we got to be knowledgeable of the rules, but she knows what it takes to get to the next level. Sure. And I think that's the same thing we're talking about with the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University, to get to the next level. Dottie knows how to do that, help these kids get the fundamentals that they can work on their own at home. You can do different things as a group. When you get a chance, you can go even rent out the community center at the Army's gymnasium. I think it's very affordable.
Very
like
affordable.
$30 for an hour.
Right.
Holy cow. You know, I remember renting ice at my age back in the day, back in the 70s. And ice was $50 an hour for an ice rink, right? Now it's $500 an hour if you want to, if you can even find a rink you can rent.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, times have changed to get it for that low price. I mean, that's pretty incredible. But Dottie's got that coming up. You can only sign up at the community center at the Army for that if you are interested in it. But that's what we're talking about. She's vested in her community. Luke's vested in the community. Carlos is vested in the community. We are as well here at KSMO. This is why when we bring out these things, we're not talking about fleeting one-time deal and we're gone. You know, that's not the way it works. We're not coming in to asphalt your driveway and leave. Right? We're here to stay, and the neat thing about it is that you can count on us to be there, and that's what makes it a very worthwhile endeavor. It might take an hour and a half out of your Wednesday night. I get it. 5:30 to 7. Going to do it for 9 weeks. You probably say, man, I don't want to sit through that thing. I guarantee you that after the first night, you're going to be thankful that you did, because you're going to get introduced to something. I guarantee you. I don't care how old you are. You're going to find out something that very first night that Luke and Hannah are going to say that you probably had no idea could affect your life.
That's right.
That's spot on. Yeah, if you don't have any money, or if you have a lot of money, if finances cause stress in your life, and I think that it happens to most people, this course is for you. So doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter how much money you make. This class is to help you set a foundation to make you feel more comfortable about finances. And that, to be honest, that's an invaluable resource.
14 and a half hours out of your life to learn more about finances, I don't think is asking too much.
Yeah. Unless you just absolutely hate it, then you can just come find me and we'll talk about finances all the time, and that'll just be how we live life.
Well, yeah, that's a right. Idea. No, the neat thing is that all the additions you get with this, all the information that comes with the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University, don't let it slip by. I mean, if this one's successful, there'll probably be another one, but get on it right now. There's no sense in putting it off. Well, I'll take it next time. All right. I'm a procrastinator at heart. Okay. I mean, I used to wait till the night before. I used to wait till the night before to do my term papers, and I'd be up all night long getting it done. I turned in like 3 minutes before it's due. You know, that's just the way I was. I couldn't get motivated early on to put the outline down, you know, which it's all the wrong ways to do it. I got through. Okay. I would never tell anybody to try and do what I did. And I had roommates shooting hockey pucks at me. Not a good thing you're a typewriter when a puck goes whizzing by your head and it hits the phone and shatters the phone. And you're thinking, guys, I got to get this paper done. You know, I can't move, you know. So, you know, you think about all the different things in your life that you say, you know, if I had a chance to do it again, I would probably use a different method or go a different direction. Not that the end result, graduating with a degree and moving forward, wasn't a good thing. But sometimes you put more stress upon yourself for no reason.
Yeah.
And that was me procrastinating to the very last minute, putting a lot of stress on myself. Now, it worked out for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out for everybody.
Right.
So don't procrastinate. Get signed up today. And again, there's still 5 to 7 slots left. Carlos, one more time on how you can get registered for the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University.
Find it on our Facebook, Council for Healthy Dade County, or on our website, salemcommunitycenter.org. You can give us a call at 573-729-8163 or shoot me an email at carlos@salemcommunitycenter.org.
Guys, I want to thank you for coming in and spending some time. Luke, thanks for making the time. And Carlos, I know you want to get out of your office anyway.
yeah, thank you so
During
much.
all this with all the schoolers. No,
I love it there.
Yeah, anyway, well, we really do appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing how the Financial Peace University works out. I know you already have people signed up for it, so that's why there is still a few openings, so don't hesitate. I'd highly recommend getting signed up. And if there's an opening, I might even take it myself. Just to see, you know, you get educated. You can't be on top of every single thing. I don't care who you are and how knowledgeable you are and how smart you are and how, you know, you've got all this input and you've got the internet right there. And you know what? You can trust everything on the internet because it's all true. No, you really need to be able sometimes just calm down, focus and then listen to what people can tell you, and then know that there are these other resources available for more in-depth discussion or information that you might need.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So-
Well, thank you for the time.
Oh, absolutely. We really appreciate you guys coming in and spending some time with us. And again, Luke, good luck with the course. Tell Hannah we say hi.
Oh, I will.
And we really appreciate you guys doing that. Carlos, continue the good work with the
Yes,
Denton
sir.
County Prevention Coalition.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I know you and Henry are knocking knocking them dead out there at the schools. They're really having fun. Henry's a glamour boy, isn't he?
Oh, he's a real hit with all the.
Oh,
All
he's
of
having
there.
fun with it. He had fun with it at the council at the convention, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. He enjoyed it. It was I
There
think
you
it was
go.
his first time to fly, and so it didn't help with that it was into
Well,
Washington D.C.
That's probably
over the Potomac River.
Yeah, that's probably true. He was a little bit skittish, let's put it that way. But anyway, again, guys, thank you very much. The Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. Again, if you have any questions, call Carlos 729-8163 or email him carlos@salemcommunitycenter.org. You can get signed up on the websites and stuff, so don't pass it up. And again, Luke, you and Hannah have a great time with this university, and I know it'll be beneficial for anybody
Yeah.
who wants to get signed up.
Yeah.
$60, and again, we want to thank our sponsors. They make it possible to be at just $60. Otherwise, it'd be a lot more. Joe Brand, and also the Bank of Salem and Healthy Denton County.
That's
Guys,
right.
thanks again for coming in.
Yeah,
You
thank you
bet.
so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, keep it here, KSMO. We've got coming up our civic